anyone who says after you get vaccinated, you'll still have to wear a mask, I consider a fool. You are fool. Either you're fooling me or you're a fool. There is no third possibility. When in the history of disease have people who have gotten...
I consider you a weird old pervert who wants to cough on people's faces to get off. And I'm sorry, I'm going to kink shame that because you're endangering lives, you weird old pervert. Hey, this is the First Amendment. I'm just expressing mine, you know? Here we go.
All right, now here, this is a first. I'm supposed to react spontaneously. Oh.
Holy shit. We got Dennis Prager doing a React Andy, son. It's happening. Let's watch.
Look at that.
Fuck you. No way. Well, we gotta slow this beautiful moment down.
Oh, look at that. Whoa.
I think he's doing a bit, but still.
Should I say who it is? I mean, what I'm reading? So people will know what I'm going, whoa.
Whoa.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dennis Prager. This is Otto.
Wow, we've never done Drunk Dennis Prager. This works. Man, does this work.
Otto needs no introduction. I might, but I don't think Otto does. We now get mail for Otto.
Oh, have you gotten my letters? I've sent you so many free Otto messages. All right, let's see you at 125.
And Otto signs them with autographs, which is one of the 7 puns I've cracked in my entire life. The world is divided between those who crack puns and those who do not. Those who do not, their task is to moan when they hear a pun, which is very interesting because that means there's a certain masochistic element to punsters, because very rarely are they complimented on the wit, and it takes wit to come out with a good one. And that's it for today's. Just I'm in a frisky mood today. I have no idea why. So, a couple of thoughts. By the way, reintroducing the Fireside Chat. Every week, I just share some thoughts. It's utterly spontaneous. I take your questions, all spontaneous. No script, no teleprompter.
Cool. Work is dignity.
And Megan tells me that the video question is unique because I've not seen it, read it, heard it. So they apparently want my spontaneous reaction, which will be interesting.
So much build-up.
Okay. 2 items for you as thoughts on my mind. One is the just announced news that Texas will basically open up completely. The Governor Abbott, has announced no more even mask mandate. You want to wear a mask, that's your business. And that is what Texas is doing.
What do you think his take on this is going to be? Is it going to be like, this will result in a lot of people dying? A lot of people are going to die. Or is it going to be, this is a really good thing because work is great, and at the end of the day, the people who are going to die are mostly going to be Black, Indigenous, frontline workers, old, and people I don't really care about, to be totally honest.
Florida came close to doing this nearly the entire time that much of the country was locked down. My state is still in lockdown. You cannot eat inside a restaurant in my state, California.
My God.
These people have convinced themselves that they're really saving lives, which is true. I mean, look, do you know that if you banned cars, you would save a lot of lives? People would just have to, I guess, take public transportation, which is presumably safer. Or if you made the speed limit 35 instead of 55, you'd save lives. I'm not even sure that they have saved lives, by the way. I'm not even.
It's the good old libertarian argument going down here. Eh? By the way, we're like, what speed limit do you want, Dennis? Is it just like unlimited freedom? Yeah, 300 miles per hour. That's about the coasting average that I enjoy. The amount of pileups under this man's legislation.
But let us say that they did. That is not the only question that a leader asks. If you're the most obvious is wartime. A general does not ask, will we lose troops? That is one of the questions. But it is a tragic fact that you will lose troops. But you cannot win the war if you are not prepared to lose troops.
So I was doing a bit when I said he'd just be okay publicly advocating for people dying as a result of this for the glory of the empire. But apparently life imitates art. It was only a matter of time before that started happening.
We cannot survive as a society, and any society, not just the U.S., if we lock down the economy. Economy means how people earn a living, and it has to do with dignity. Work is dignity. Or at least somebody in the family working is dignity. By the way, I've always contended that a woman who takes care of a home is working. She's just not getting a salary check. The contempt that the highly educated elites have for taking care of a home, this.
He totally pays his wife, doesn't he? Like every now and then he's like, honey, you've done some dignity today. Here's your allowance. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna give you some dignity in the form of some currency right now. And I don't know if you can proofread my latest article, When Your Wife's Not in the Mood, Part 3. You're featured prominently in this one, my dear. So could you use some syntax correction if you have some minutes to spare?
Precedes nearly all of you. I mean, I was a kid when I heard all this. You want to be a wife and a mother? What are you, a loser? That continues to be the message. By the way, there are more depressed young women today than ever in recorded American history, and I think that's one of the reasons. That's worthy of its own time, just to address the issue of women.
He never disappoints for just cranking it up out of nowhere. It's always unprovoked. It's like this. Where does your line of reasoning go to that all of a sudden? By the way, women are incredibly depressed, and that's one of the reasons why. This strange straw man that I've invented. What? There's no way, motherfucker, that was happening when you were a kid. People are like, oh, you want to have a kid? Loser? You're a loser if you want to have a kid and raise a family. You come from such a traditionalist household, from such a traditional time. You were from the Make America Great Again era. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No one was saying that when you were a kid. That was the way. You had to do that, or you were considered like vile by society. Women were vilified if they didn't know their place, quote unquote. Stay in the kitchen, honey. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
So I salute Governor Abbott of Texas.
I knew it. Of course.
And I give you one example of the many, many horrible prices of 1 year. This is the anniversary of the lockdown. And I wrote a year ago, this was the greatest mistake in history. Not greatest evil, I made that clear. Greatest mistake. I was right. I'm not telling you this so you'll know I was right, but it's good for you to know. Because I was universally nearly mocked, attacked for saying what a mistake it was. First time in history that the healthy have been quarantined, that the people almost inconceivably likely to get sick were quarantined, namely young people, depriving kids of school for a year, increasing addiction, increasing suicide, increasing family abuse, increasing divorce.
Don't you love the concern trolling that came out of this? It was the first time I think I've ever heard conservatives talk about mental illness, like genuinely, where all of a sudden they're all like, well, this is a plight. How can we allow this to happen? Are you seeing what's happening? The increase in the rates of suicide, the increase in the rates of domestic violence. It's almost like there's all these underlying societal issues that we refuse to ever look at. But now, because it concerns the bottom line, because it concerns the fucking dollars, because it concerns the stonks, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, no, we're deeply invested in this. This is a big concern to us. Yeah, let's talk about this thing called the opioid crisis. I'm not entirely sure, but apparently people are using drug. Yeah, they're using drug. It's unusual, this.
Oh, but that doesn't matter because we're saving lives, say the scientists. Scientists run the gamut
Nerds.
from moron to wise as taxi drivers and plumbers and chiropractors and airplane pilots, you name the profession.
Fucking nerds.
There is not one iota more wisdom in the medical profession than in any other profession. Any. And the number of fools may be a drop higher from my experience with them in the last year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So just remember, again, follow the science is a lie. They don't follow the science. They follow the scientists they agree with. I follow science. I follow the scientists I agree with. I admit it. The scientists who said the lockdown is going to kill people are the scientists I agreed with. The scientists who say that hydroxychloroquine and zinc are good, I agree with. Scientists that say ivermectin saves lives, I agree with.
You're siding with the heart exploders, with the demon semen. Holy shit. God damn, man. Is she going to come back? Are we going to get to experience the demon semen in 2021? I hope so. I hope that's not the last we've seen of demon semen. Because this man, like, you can just tell, look at this freeze frame. He's loaded with demon semen. God damn.
Why are they not science? Because the media don't agree with them. Science is what the media agrees with, not what science is. Just remember that. So I salute Governor Abbott in Texas. And I got one more question.
Oh, here we go.
I got two more questions. They're related. If masks help, and I'm not saying they don't, I'm agnostic. But if masks...
You're agnostic on mask use? That you're making a stance? You fucking clown. What? Yeah, I'm not saying they don't. Hey, come on. I'm trying to be centrist on this issue. They may or may not do anything. Who knows? I mean, come on.
What do you care if the other guy wears a mask? If masks protect you, why do you care if I wear a mask? So you say, well, if you wear a mask, I'm even more protected. Yes, but then we're getting into the realm of such tiny percentage points that
false.
Either the mask works or it doesn't work, or it overwhelmingly works and infinitesimally doesn't work. Why do you care if I wear a mask, if you wear a mask? And I'll prove to you that that's a legitimate question. Because
I care because you can spread it to other people, you fucking old ghoul. That's the problem. This is not a matter of being selfish, okay? If you're in public and you're wearing a mask, it's about you spreading it to other people. It's not about you protecting yourself. That's all you fuckers care about. Me. How does this affect me? If I put on a mask, it doesn't save my life, so why would I ever wear one? Come on. Who cares about anyone else? Fuck.
Fauci, who seems to be a nice guy, but I have zero desire to listen to him about anything because I don't think he has wisdom. He has told us that after vaccines, we'll still have to wear masks, even if you're vaccinated. Then why the hell get vaccinated? Abundance of caution. You know what abundance of caution's initials are?
Because not everyone has been vaccinated. Because not everyone has access to it yet. Because there's a rollout. You could be asymptomatic. You can still spread the disease. The fuck is wrong with all of you? It's just this weird, selfish ghoulishness.
AOC. Yeah, one of the members of the House of Representatives is abundance of caution. Abundance of caution. How about living life? I want an abundance of life. Abundance of joy. Abundance of caution is powerful.
What brings you joy? Coughing on people? Killing them? Sorry, that's my personal blessing. That's my joy. Oh yeah, just got off. You know, let me find another person to spread some joy on. I'm just living, dude. Living my best life.
How's that? AOC equals P. P for paralysis. That's why I don't trust them. Anyone who says after you get vaccinated you'll still have to wear a mask, I consider a fool. You are fool. Either you're fooling me or you're a fool. There is no third possibility. When in the history of disease have people who have gotten...
I consider you a weird old pervert who wants to cough on people's faces to get off. And I'm sorry, I'm going to kink shame that because you're endangering lives, you weird old pervert. Hey, this is the First Amendment. I'm just expressing mine, you know? Here we go.
This is, by the way, why do I care about masks? I care about masks because it dehumanizes people. That's why.
Yeah,
a whole generation has.
Are we going to do the 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon here? Is he like how fast is he going to connect this to the Holocaust? I wonder. Let's see. I mean, hey, I could be totally wrong. It could be something else. He could go in. We never know with Dennis Prager. You know, you roll the dice and he just finds some way to connect something that you're like, I don't know how you reached that. We were talking about puppies, but yeah, sure, go off, King.
Had a year now, little kids of not seeing faces. That's not good. That is not good. I've railed against the Muslim veil all of my life. I said women were dehumanized by it. Now men and women are being dehumanized.
Okay, I was wrong. He's going in a different direction. But hey, it's still just as, let's crank this up to 11. Come on, it's still going to be just as strange. Here we go.
Oh, but not in the name of religion, in the name of secular religion, safetyism, which is more powerful or as powerful as fundamentalist Islam, as a guiding force in one's life. Oh, you'll be safe. Oh, in that case, I'll even wear it in my car. Oh, in that.
So, unironically, doing the masks are Sharia law, the thing that people scream in hospitals and restaurants and stuff, that the masks are Sharia law. You're unironically doing that. Yeah, all right. Didn't see this one coming.
Okay, so I'll wear 2 masks and a face shield. The irrationality in my state, where as I said on Fox News about a month ago or so, where you can sit on the plane and you're a couple of inches from a stranger, you could take off your mask to eat, but I can't take off my mask to eat in a restaurant in California 6 feet from someone.
He really wants to breathe.
Oh, one final thing. A doctor has written a piece about how injurious this has been to the health of young people who need to breathe to develop antibodies. By keeping people quarantined and masked, they don't get a chance to get the normal germs, if you will, which give them antibodies. We are hurting these kids' health, not to mention their mental health.
Demon semen.
Okay.
Demon
So
semen?
I salute the Texas governor. You're a lucky person if your governor is conservative. Like South Dakota, Florida, Texas. You're unlucky if your governor is like the governor of California. And your luck is the same whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Democrats own restaurants too. Democrats work in nail salons too.
Fuck, he got me there.
Okie dokie. All right, now here,
He's
this
not
is
wrong.
a first. I'm supposed to react spontaneously. Oh, look at that. Whoa.
Play the video.
Should I say who it is? I mean, what I'm reading?
There's a
So
long
people will know what I'm going, whoa. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Hecker, 98-year-old World War II veteran. The 8th Air Force Bombardier was stationed at RAF, Royal Air Force.
I just saw this one. Cancel culture. Parallels to communism. Yes, please. Bring it to me, Daddy Prager.
Out of very flawed material, human beings. All right, bless you, my friend. How do we get out of here? So double click? That's right. That was moving. I got teared up, actually.
Wow.
All right, Sally,
missed
40 in
something
Los
good.
Angeles, California. Can you talk about the parallels of cancel culture to how communism would purge ideologies they didn't agree with? Thou hast answered thine question in thine question.
Oh.
It is exactly a parallel with communist culture. That is exactly right.
Shakespearean, even.
There's nothing to add. That's what they did. Reading the New York Times, Washington Post,
Case
the
closed.
LA Times is like reading Pravda.
Case
It's the
closed.
party line. I'm reading the party line. That's what that was. And cancel culture, another very important article I wrote. I hope you would all read my column every week. I put into writing very important stuff.
Fucking e-shilling right now. Why I just don't understand why more young people don't want to read about When Your Wife's Not in the Mood, Part 4. I put very detailed descriptions of my own personal sex life in there, and it's just weird to me how all these young people won't read it.
It's free. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't try to sell you anything in general anyway.
Yeah.
I try to sell you ideas.
Ideas.
And values.
High-level ideas.
But I wrote about this in the reason why the left always suppresses dissent. Always. There's no exception. Wherever the left, and I always distinguish between left and liberals, check my article this week, 32 questions to ask someone to find out if they're liberal or leftist. Even if you don't have someone to ask it to, you should look at the 32 questions. It will clarify what leftism stands for without any judgment, without any statements, just as a question. 32 of them. My column this week. And
I'm pulling that up right now.
they suppress dissent. And again, as opposed to liberals who welcome dissent. Conservatives and liberals have much more in common than liberals and leftists do. But liberals vote left, and that's the tragedy.
Okay, did you learn a single fucking thing? Cancel culture parallels to communism, or is it just him rambling incoherently? I think it's the second one. Like all he said is, "You have answered thine own question with thine own answer." He tee he. And by the way, I'm not going to talk about my website, and everyone should go there. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Not like I get ad revenue when people go there. Society and Commentary by Dennis Prager. Use these 32 questions to determine whether someone is a liberal or a leftist. What does this have to do with anything? Good photo. The great tragedy of our time is that liberals vote left. Virtually every value liberals have held for a century is now held by conservatives and scorned by leftists. Therefore, America, in serious jeopardy of being lost, will be saved when people convince the liberals in their life that the left, not the conservative, is their enemy. He's trying to recruit the liberals. This process begins by establishing whether a friend or a relative is a liberal or a leftist. It turns out that if he or she is a liberal, it is worth engaging in respectful dialogue on the issues of the day. If the friend or relative is a leftist, you can probably only talk about innocuous subjects such as the weather, though not about global warming, or sports, though not about players taking a knee during the national anthem. If you talk about the great issues of the day with a left-wing friend or relative, that could be the last time you talk to each other. He or she is likely to unfriend you, not only on social media, but also in life. Leftists generally do not like dialogue. They like dismissal. Here are questions you might want to pose to your friends or relatives to determine, as much for them as for you, whether they are liberal or left. All right, chat, are you ready? Let's do an interactive here. I'm gonna ask the questions to you, and then you can fill up the answers with yes or no above. All right, let's start with the first one. Many universities now have, I love how he starts with race, just right out the gates. Race. I want to talk about the issues of race. Many universities now have all black dormitories, and some have all black graduation exercises. Do you support these developments? Let's see, chat. Let's see. This is like a little polling. Let's see what you say. Sure, I don't care. Yes, yes, yay. Yay for the first, not for the second. Yes, yes, on the plus side. Maybe you'll get some of my relatives to stop talking to me. No, yes, LeMayo. No, not sure. Kevin Logan says Maggie. What? You're unfollowed. Yes, yes, yay. I wasn't listening. Yeah, that sounds about as leftist an answer as one could say. I wasn't listening. There you go. Because again, we don't care about dialogue. We're Puritans. The University of California has declared this statement racist. There is only one race, the human race. Do you agree with the University of California, or do you agree with that statement? I'd say I agree with the statement. There is only one race, the human race. But this feels like a bit of a baity question, to be totally frank. I don't really understand what's happening here. I feel in some ways like you're trying to set up a gotcha. These don't feel like you're trying to have, a good faith interaction with your family. It feels like, again, you're weird old perverted perv who does some strange things like gets off and coughing in people's faces. Is the goal of being colorblind, doing one's best to ignore a person's color and concentrating only on the person's character and personality, a noble goal or a racist one? The fuck, my dude? Do you honestly do that? Do you sit in a room where there's, quote, people of color and just sit there being like, do not see, ignore what you see before you. They are translucent. They are not black. They are translucent. You are seeing past them. You are seeing past them right now because you're not a racist. Do you agree that all white Americans are racist? If your answer is yes, would you tell millions of blacks in Africa and the Caribbean who wish to immigrate to America that they would be making a poor decision? If not, why not? Can you imagine having a dinner conversation with Dennis Prager? Is it possible for a black person to be racist towards Dennis Prager? Is it racist to claim that Johann Sebastian Bach, Ludwig van Beethoven, and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart composed the greatest music ever? Ever? Is it racist to say that? That the greatest music ever made was made by the whites? Is the national anthem racist? Is the national anthem racist? If your answer is yes, what would you like to put in its place? Fucking Cardi B, y'all. Gonna throw me some Cardi B. Yeah, WAP. There, that's the new fucking national anthem of America. I want y'all to be singing that, all right? That's the new national anthem. You're welcome, America. That's my gift to you. WAP. The English department at the University of Pennsylvania removed its painting of William Shakespeare because he was a white European male. Do you agree with this decision? And hey, by the way, we're not done, everybody. That was just the opening salvo. We've now done race, and now we're on to America. Do you agree with the New York Times 1619 project that America was not founded in 1776, but in 1619, with the arrival of black slaves in North America, and that the Revolutionary War was fought in order to preserve slavery? Should statues of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln be taken down? Has the United States overall made the world a better place? Would America be better, worse, or the same now if all Americans dropped their religion and became secular? I know, like, we've lost the way a little bit here. The entire point of this exam is to find out if you're a liberal or a leftist. But I can save you some time, Dennis Prager. A leftist will tell you they're a leftist because they don't live in fear of, like, what if people know my secret racism the way the right does? There's not like we got to hide our power levels and turn them down a whole bunch and then, in fact, I think the thing you complain the most about people on the left is how they're a little too vocal about these things. Don't you call them woke scolds? Don't you call them SJWs? Like, oh, the SJWs are being loud and whiny again. Would America be better, worse, or the same as now if all Americans dropped their religion and became secular? Has capitalism been a net plus for America and the world? Well, you might want to relate that question back to the first arrival of black slaves. Could a good person have voted for Donald Trump in 2020? That's the first one. I'll say yes. A good person could have voted for Donald Trump in 2020. I don't think every single person who voted for Donald Trump because they were a racist. Do you believe that CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Times, and the rest of the mainstream media, the lamestream media, what are you, sheeple, are biased towards the left or try and present the news as accurately as possible? I think they're biased towards the libs. Maybe some of the centrists. Ain't no one biased towards the left. God damn, maybe the Hill is the closest you could get? Should America, and I'm talking about mainstream, the lamestream media, should America have full control over its borders to prevent illegal immigration? There are between 11 and 30 million people in America who entered the country illegally. Should they be put on the path to citizenship? Yes. Yes. Should those who enter America illegally be called undocumented immigrants or illegal immigrants? Do you believe police departments should be defunded or at least have their budgets severely cut? Should the government provide vouchers to enable parents to choose what school their child attends? Which school do you believe is more likely to be attacked by a gunman? One that has a sign in front of it that reads gun-free zone, or one that reads this school has armed personnel? Like, I don't really think if you were in the middle of a conversation with someone and you were asking these kind of questions, if you would determine whether they were liberal or left, because they'd be too busy yelling at you for being a huge weirdo. I think that would be the problem. That it wouldn't really allow for a lot of discourse back and forth because they'd be so distracted with what a weirdo you are. Men and women. Oh my, yes. Should it be legal for a teenage girl to have her breasts surgically removed because she identifies as a male? Or should there be a minimum age of 18 or 21? But hey, don't ask Dennis Prager about putting silicone in the breasts, because for that, hey, any age goes. School teachers have been taught to stop calling students boys and girls because the student might not identify as either a male or a female. Do you agree with this policy? Should biological males who identify as females be allowed to compete against biological females in sports? I mean, instead of calling this one men and women, you should be exploring my own transphobia. That's what this topic should be called. So instead of, like, just correct this. It's easy. You can erase men and women and just put my own transphobia and how I'm getting through it. Is the statement, men give birth, science-based? Yes. Do you agree with the practice of inviting a drag queen into the public libraries and elementary school classrooms to conduct a drag queen story hour? Again, it would be hard to have a conversation with you because I would be wondering why you're such a huge weirdo and why this concerns you. Finally, speech. Do you believe that free speech allows for hate speech, or do you think hate speech should be banned? If you believe hate speech should be banned, who do you believe should determine what is hate speech? Certainly not you, Dennis Prager. You might want to send these questions to the people in your life whose views are left on your own. At best, you and they will realize that you have more in common than either you previously thought. At the very least, the answers will bring you both clarity. And at worst, they will explain why there is a rift between you and why you might want to restrict communication to weather, sports, recipes, and warm memories. Well, that, my friends, is cancel culture right there. That is full-on cancel culture, and I won't stand for it, Dennis Prager. I won't stand for it. You're not gonna silence my speech. Okay, I have free speech. You're not going to say that I'm only allowed to speak about weather or sports or recipes. I want to speak about all things at all times. My word. Yeah, this is the very definition of bad faith. Can you, like, if someone is coming up to you and asking these kind of questions, like, I would be like, are you trying to work through your own racism, sexism, and transphobia, dude? Because if that's the thing, that's your own personal journey. I don't want to, like, infringe upon it. You're more than welcome to go forth and. But I mean, that's a you thing, you know? And please go forth. Live your best life. Inshallah.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our glorious gods, Xander Corvus and I'm Wrath, may you shower us with glory and smite our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we serve at your leisure, your grace. To our lords, Toefox, Bisexual Black Gamer, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeffrey Lamb, Alexander Thaler, and Hans Josephine, we shall carry your banner high into the fields of battle. To our Knights of the Round Table, Timothy Hart, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophagic, Saren 42, Chronic de Hemphog, Kale Kotka, The Great Pudini, Bone Jenny, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, J. Fraser Cartwright, Thomas Barrington, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chitoro, Goofalankius, Zach Christensen, Nicholas Marks, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Melissa Murphy, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Constance Joyce Lacheris. We lift our glasses of ale and we salute you.